Peace, 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 peace. Peace to the gods and the earth. Welcome to the Universal Temple. You and I versus all temple for the sun, planet, moon, and stars. And today we're gonna go into some degrees. We're gonna go into some lessons. And I want to show the grammatic correction of certain lessons. You know what I mean? Because we got to remember that no one understands. Let me show this so people understand that I'm not capping, but I'm not capping. You know what I'm saying? You see right here, as it says here, like matter of fact, let's go. Up here. We're gonna go to the. All right, this is the Supreme Wisdom lessons. I'm asking for all to his servant, most honorable Elijah Muhammad, for the lost foundation of Islam in North America. Originated about, you know what I mean? Okay. Now look right here, right? One of the points of study in the Supreme Wisdom, as we know as the 120 lessons, is the English lesson number C1. So now, English lesson. Y'all remember English class? Remember when you was in English class and you learned stuff about English, how to enunciate words, proper grammar, how to put certain sentences or commas or semicolons and things like that, certain things in the sentence and, how to construct sentences and things of that nature. English class, remember that? You got English lessons in English class, right? Remember that, right? So let's go through these lessons real fast and let's deal with English. I want to provide an English lesson today, a lesson in English. You know what I'm saying? Because some things you do like, this quote and stuff, and not keeping, not keeping certain things. Let's deal with. Here goes one. Let's deal with this right here. It says the holy flag of Islam is the greatest, and this is the born degree and the 1 to 14, the ninth degree and the 1 to 14. And it says, the holy flag of Islam is the greatest and only flag known. It says, now repeat this. The universe is everything. Hyphen, sun, moon, and stars. They are planets. Planets are something grown or made from the beginning. Now, it doesn't say the universe is everything. Sun, moon, and stars. Understand, it says that the universe is everything. That's a statement within itself. Then it says sun, moon, and stars, they are planets. Because we know the universe is not a planet. The universe is everything. That's a statement within itself. Sun, moon, and stars, they are planets. Planets are something grown or made from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't say that the universe is the sun, moon, and stars. It says the universe is everything. And the sun, moon, and stars is not everything. There's so many things, and you know how many things there are in the universe. The sun, moon, and stars is not everything in the universe. See what I'm saying? So understand, the universe itself is everything. Sun, moon, and stars, they are planets. Planets are something that were grown or made from the beginning. Understand that? And for you Bible thumpers out there, let me give y'all this right here. And holy is something that has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. So you know how we be reading. So you know how we go into the even for the lessons. We go into the knowledge degree of the 1 to 40. Then the first degree in the 1 to 40, it asks who made the Holy Quran or Bible, how long ago, and why did Islam renew its history every 25,000 years. So when it says who made the Holy Quran or Bible, now it just said that the word holy is something that has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. So now, nowadays when you read the Bible, it says Holy Bible, King James Version. Well, we know that King James Version, once King James made it his own version, that means that it was no longer holy because he mixed, diluted, and tampered with the original text of the Bible as he translated and transliterated, took certain books out, added certain books, changed certain things to say this and say that, and make it his own version. Like so, therefore, like I said, he mixed, diluted, and tampered with it. Therefore, it's no longer a holy book. The word Bible comes from the Latin word biblios, which means book. So it's supposed to be a holy book, a book that has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any form. And once again, once you see something like Holy Bible, King James Version, once it became King James Version, that means it was mixed, diluted, and tampered with. And therefore, it's no longer holy. Okay? So I just want to drop that on that real fast. Now, so like I was saying, we gotta like know how to rightly divide things so that we don't be quoting, because you know we be quoting these degrees, math fast. Yeah, dog, universe second, something saw, say planets, everything, so really, you sound like something like that. No. Stop that all that fast shit. Break it down. Read these things word for word and put it in grammatical sense so that it makes sense and you're not just quoting something just so fast that sounds good. Let's put it in perspective. Right? Another degree I'm gonna show you, and I ain't gonna make this too long, but we're gonna go into the actually, well, it was earlier because I was actually building with a guy earlier about this degree, and I was showing him something, and I was showing him right here, knowledge God degree, 1 to 40, 17th degree, 1 to 40. What is the meaning of civilization? Answer: one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not a savage. Period. Next line says, pursuit of happiness. Now, you know when brothers be quoting this degree, they be saying, meaning of civilization, one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not a savage in pursuit of happiness. And is not a savage in pursuit of happiness. That's how brothers be quoting and saying it mad fast. And even Master Killer said it like that in a rhyme one time. So maybe that's where a lot of brothers get that too. And now the savage in pursuit of happiness, thunderous mantis, all chant this. And that in the praying mantis song. But anyway, so a lot of brothers be quoting and they be saying like, yo, now the savage in pursuit of happiness. No, dog, read the lesson, what it says. It says, one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not a savage. Pause. Then it says, pursuit of happiness. So that means that one of the definitions for, or one of the meanings of civilization is the pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the meanings of civilization, the pursuit of happiness. Not and is not a savage in pursuit of happiness. No, it says pursuit of happiness. You see that? So that's why we're trying to say brothers got to understand English so we stop these run-on sentences. When we say one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not a savage in pursuit of happiness, that's a run-on sentence, and it doesn't say that. It does not say that. Do you see this right here? Oh, that's the Nation of Islam version. Man, this is where the damn lessons came from. I'm tired of brothers talking about those ain't Muslim lessons, those are lessons. Yo, let me show y'all something, man. What do they say right here? Read along with me, class. I don't want to be capping. Don't tell me I'm capping. What does it say right here, class? What does that say right there? Read that out for the class, please. Lost found Muslim lesson number 2. And the one before this, the 1 in 14 says lost found Muslim lesson number 1. So does this say lost found God lessons number 2? Does it say lost found Muslim lesson number 2? It says lost found Muslim lesson number 2. So therefore, these are Muslim lessons. These are their lessons. Can't just jack somebody's lessons and be like, these are our lessons. That would be stealing. That would be, you don't have the copyright to this material. This is copywritten in this Department of Supreme Wisdom through the Nation of Islam. You can't just steal their copywritten work. You know what I'm saying? So understand that the Father took these lessons out of the temple. Elijah never said anything bad about what he did. You know what I'm saying? You know, because he knew that the Father was manifesting what it tells us in the, knowledge equality degree, which comes before, what we just building on before, the knowledge God degree. You know what I'm saying? And the knowledge equality degree will tell you, and before the knowledge equality degree, actually was 85%, knowledge power degree, who is 10%, the knowledge equality degree, who is the 5%, and the four power planet Earth. Answer: for righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachings of the 10%, who are all wise and know the living God and know who the living God is, and teach that the living God is the Son of Man, the Supreme Being, the Black Man of Asia, and teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, also Muslims and Muslim sons. And now, matter of fact, since we're building on that degree, let me break that down too, and put that in grammatical, perspective. This says here that they are all wise and teach that the true and living God is the Son of Man, the Supreme Being, the Black Man of Asia, and teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth. Pause. Period. Freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth. Period. Otherwise known as civilized people, also Muslims and Muslim sons. Now, are they saying that the 5% are otherwise known as civilized people and Muslims and Muslim sons? No. It's saying that the 5% are all wise, know who the true and living God is, and teach that the true and living God is Supreme Being, as the Son of Man, the Supreme Being, Black Man of Asia, and teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, also are Muslims and Muslim sons. That is not to say that civilized people, Muslims and Muslim sons, are of the 5%. That is to say that the 5% teach freedom, justice, and equality to all the human families of the planet Earth, who are otherwise known as civilized people, also are Muslims and Muslim sons. So therefore, the human families of the planet Earth are otherwise known as civilized people, also are Muslims and Muslim sons. That does not say that civilized people, Muslims and Muslim sons, are part of the 5%. See what I'm saying? A lot of brothers got that misunderstood because they quoting these lessons so damn fast and making run-on sentences and not putting things in grammatical perspective. See what I'm saying? So I'm showing y'all these things. So it says right here, and people have been quoting these lessons for years. Y'all never seen this? Y'all never broke this down? No, because you're just so quick. You quoting damn lessons so damn fast. Slow down with all of that. Stop all that fast verbal masturbating. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all not even understanding what you're quoting. So you can put it in proper perspective. People out here thinking civilized people, Muslims and Muslims is part of the 5%. Muslim sons is the one spoken about in a born degree who got to study from 35 to 50 years. The so-called devils that got to study from, not so-called, the devils who got to study from 35 to 50 years before they can call themselves a Muslim son. So they can clean themselves up and come amongst us. See what I'm saying? Those are the Muslim sons. So obviously they not the 5% who teaching freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth, because they got to get taught the freedom, justice, and equality by us, who is the Son of Man, the Supreme Being, the Black Man of Asia, who teach freedom, justice, and equality to all the human families of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, also are Muslims and Muslim sons. So in other words, the gods, the 5%, we teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families. And they are otherwise known as civilized people, also Muslims and Muslim sons. You know what I'm saying? So They are civilized people once we civilize the people. Civilized means to teach knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So as we teach the knowledge and the wisdom as civilized people, doing our duty as civilized people, because we know what the meaning of civilization is. What is the meaning of civilization? The meaning of civilization is one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not savage. What is a savage? Going back to the wisdom degree, the 114, a savage is one who has lost all knowledge of himself and is living a beast way of life. So once you have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and you're refined, you're dealing in refinement, then you're no longer a savage. And once you're no longer a savage, then you can pursue happiness. See what I'm saying? But as long as you're acting like a savage, which is one who has lost all knowledge of himself and is living a beast way of life, you can never seek true happiness. You can't be in the pursuit of happiness because you're being a savage. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we're not going to make that a run-on degree and say, not a savage in pursuit of happiness, although, yeah, you should not be a savage in pursuit of happiness. And in fact, you cannot be a savage in pursuit of happiness. You know what I mean? Because if you're a savage, you're not in pursuit of happiness. You're in the pursuit of self-destruction, basically, because you lost all knowledge of yourself and you're acting like a beast. You're living a beast way of life. So that's not that. If you think that's happiness, sure, you like a pig laying in shit, I guess. That's happiness to a pig. You laying in shit. You think that's heaven to him. That nigga wallowing around anyway. Good old time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we know the meaning of civilization, and then it says, what is the duty of a civilized person? To teach the uncivilized people who are savage civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. Now, once again, see? Once again. Now, this is not saying that the science of everything in life is love, peace, and happiness, because we also know that there's knowledge, like as far as the 12 Jews, there's knowledge, wisdom, understanding, there's freedom, justice, equality, there's food, clothing, and shelter, then there's love, peace, and happiness. So the science of everything in life is not just love, peace, and happiness. See what I'm saying? So we got to understand that. And also another thing about that degree is that I used to see my mistake for many years, you know what I'm saying, and having this information is that, you know, when I meet people, you know, I wasn't taking the time to do this correctly. And what I mean is that we're supposed to start off teaching people civilization and righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Before we start just giving them the knowledge of self and showing, teaching them the science of everything in life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because, you know, there's steps, you know, there's different levels to this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? So really I was putting the cart before the horse, as they say. I was meeting people and just starting to teach them the knowledge of themselves and the science of everything in life and started building on all this stuff and da. No. Slow down, back it up. Did I skip over civilization and righteousness? That's the first thing you got to start teaching people, is civilization. Yo, young man, pull your pants up, man. You ain't gonna be walking like that in my presence. You walk around me, we're gonna be civilized people, man. You gotta pull your pants up, young man, and break down the science to him of how all that pants sagging is sagging is fagging, and sagging comes from homosexual prison culture. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, break down that whole science and all of that. You know what I mean? How, you know, when you go in, the guards will give you oversized pants. And, you know, especially if you talking shit to the guards and all that, they give you an oversized pair of pants to wear. That's where now, and sometimes no string in it. So now you ain't even got no string. So now you walking around the dorm all day. You got to keep pulling up your pants and pulling up your pants. And, you know, in jail, niggas is mad gay in jail. Like it's mad homosexual prison culture going on in there. So you don't want to be walking around with your pants hanging down all the time, man, looking like something, you know, sweet for these niggas that's in there doing 25 to life and who never gonna see another woman probably for the rest of their life. So they done made the decision to get their rocks off with a man. So you don't want to be that man that they do that with. So pull your fucking pants up, young man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so now that happened to a lot of men in prison. You know what I'm saying? This actual facts. That's a true story. And the reality is also too that when a man gets violated in prison, part of the culture is that in that homosexual prison culture, when a man violates the other man or whatever, he'll force him to walk around the dorm with his pants sagged, which is a sign that basically he's somebody's bitch and he's been violated, and somebody got that. You know what I'm saying? You somebody's bitch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that comes from. Now, when a lot of these big niggas, OG niggas came home from jail and they were sagging their pants and shit, a lot of the younger kids, they was thinking that was cool. Like, oh, look at the OG, look at the way he's sagging his pants. Oh, that's cool. So a lot of these young kids is trying to follow that and mimic that, and they thinking it's just a cool style. And I don't know where the fuck these young kids got talking about that swag. That is not what swag is. Swag is the way you walk and the way you carry yourself, the way you bop, the way the way you walk, the way that's your swag. It's not you sagging your fucking pants. Sagging is sagging, swagging is swagging. It's two different things. Your swag is your swag. Sagging is not swagging. Understand the difference. Now, being that we men and we black men, of course, we got a lot of space down there. We need space down there for what we blessed with. You know what I'm saying? So we might wear our pants a little baggy, and they might sag maybe a few inches below the waistline, not with our fucking buttocks all the way out in your pants. Your belt line is below your fucking butt cheeks. Men don't walk around like that. That's some homo shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it comes from homosexual prison culture. So a lot of these young kids that be walking around like that, I'll be educating them about that, man. I'm dropping that jewel on them, man. And that's one of the ways I'll be trying to teach civilization, man, for these young bucks, man. Pull your pants up, son. I think Obama even said, raise your pants and raise your image. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, fuck Obama. They didn't know that was an ill quote or whatever. But, and it's true. Raise your pants and raise your image. Because when you walk around with your pants hanging off your ass, you're looking like a damn slob, like a savage, like a slouch. You misrepresenting your family. Because understand this, any young man or any man that's watching this, you got grown-ass men walking around here with their fucking ass sticking out. Listen, when you walk out your home, you're not only representing yourself, you're representing your family as well. And you don't want your kids walking around like that. Maybe like, yo, those are so-and-so kids walking around looking like that. Oh man, what they teaching at home? They ain't grooming them kids at home. Teaching kids no matter how to dress themselves and carry themselves. Oh, that's a damn shame. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because people talk, neighborhood talk. So you don't want people talking about your kids like they're uncivilized and they ain't got no manners and no structure about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So teach your kids to wear a fucking belt. Get your kids a belt. And if they don't put that goddamn belt on properly, take that belt off and whip their ass until they put that goddamn belt on properly. Is he promoting child abuse? No, I'm promoting child discipline. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bible says, spare not the rod and spoil the child, right? Yeah, because when you sparing the rod, if you don't use the rod, you're going to spoil the child. You know what I'm saying? And the child going to think he can run around doing whatever. That's why these young kids is running around doing whatever. No respect for their parents, no respect for the elders, running around all uncivilized. You know what I'm saying? And we know that as real true adults, into our African spirituality, we know the African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. So if I see somebody's child out there, I'm not afraid to say something to this young man acting all uncivilized. I'll say something. And a lot of times people be like afraid to say something because they worry about what the parents gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes, and I'm not saying everything I see I interject on it, because sometimes I just mind my fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's how your goddamn child acting, that's your damn child, man. If you ain't thinking on that home, man, ain't nothing I can say or do that's going. In fact, you gonna take it to offense if I did say something. So what the fuck ever. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna kill myself over your child, you know what I'm saying? But however, if he's looking and he's doing the knowledge, you can learn from my example, because I'm going to teach through my example every day, through my words and actions. So through the knowledge. You know what I mean? So anyway, like I said, we got to start off teaching civilization and righteousness before we start teaching the knowledge of self and the science of everything in life. And once again, like I was saying, the science of everything in life is not necessarily, it is not just love, peace, and happiness. The science of everything in life is the science of everything in life. And love, peace, and happiness is love, peace, and happiness. You know what I'm saying? So the duty of a civilized person is to teach the uncivilized people who are savage civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. Those are all separate things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand that. So Okay, now we're gonna go into this degree right here, the understanding God degree. You know, so this degree I was dealing with the dog earlier, and we were going through it. And I was like I say, just trying to explain that if you look at this degree, right, the way that it's structured, it's asking a question. It's asking a question here. It's saying, it's asking, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%, question mark. Then it says that the God is a righteous and unseen being, exists everywhere, question mark. Now, before we go on to this part, before we go into the answer, let's just dissect the question real fast. Now, the first question asked, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%. Not what God teaches the 85% or what the 5% teach the 85%. What the devil teaches the 85%. And what is it that the devil teaches the 85%? The devil teaches the 85% that God is a righteous and unseen being. They teach you that God is unseen and he exists everywhere. So now, right there in these two questions, which are posed as questions, you can actually see, oh yeah, and let me show you why I have the authority and I'm in the proper position to do what I'm doing right now. Who are you to try to correct Elijah's teachings? Who are you to try to tell us what the lesson says? And blah, 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 blah. Look what this says right here. Let me show y'all something, because y'all be overlooking stuff. People want to run their mouth, but they don't be looking, they don't be reading properly. Do y'all see what this says right here? It says, these training units were named by our prophet and leader of Islam, W.D. Ford. Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2. Yeah, wait for it. These lessons are answered very near, once again, very near correct. It didn't say these lessons are answered 100% right and exact. It said these lessons are answered very near correct. So that means that these answers are not 100% right and exact. Who am I to say that? Yo, Lord Messiah, who the fuck are you to say that? Yo, it's Elijah told you that. The Farad told you that. It says it right here at the top of these lessons. They told you that. The preparer of these lessons told you that. Do you see it? This lesson is answered very near correct. Am I making this up, y'all? Or is that what that say right there? Did I highlight it for you? I highlighted it. Do y'all see that? Am I making this up? Okay. This lesson is answered very near correct. So what would, and check it, and then it says all students should read and study it until he or she can recite it by heart. Now, I'm not faulting him for giving us the best of what he drew up and what he gave us. But understand this, in all reality, if something is not 100% right and exact, should you commit that to your memory, or should you make it 100% right and exact and then commit that to your memory? I think that would make more sense, right? You should answer it 100% correct and then apply that to your memory, right? So when I quote this degree, I'm not going to quote it exactly how it says, because guess what? There was a grammatical error in that. And I'm about to show you very clearly how there's a grammatical error. What are you talking about, Lord Messiah? So man, see this guy, man. He think he's so smart. He think he knows so much. He think he know more than us, and he think he know more than everybody. No, I know what I know, and I'm showing you something in case you have never seen this or you never broke it down. Look at this. Like, let's just say, right? If I said to you, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%. Let's say if you knew, you know what I'm saying? Because there's many things that the devil teaches the 85%. The devil teaches the 85% to eat the wrong foods. He teaches us that he teaches us that he teaches the 85% that a mystery God brings all this. You know what I'm saying? He teaches the 85%. All kinds of things, you know what I'm saying? Teach them that the God is an unseen spook in the sky, can't be seen with the physical eye, and that one day when they die, they're gonna, go to heaven and all this things. They teach them a whole lot of bullshit. But what specifically does he teach pertaining to this specific degree as far as what is specifically written? Because remember, a question requires an answer, right? So, brother tried to tell me that this is a two-part question. No, brother, look at it properly. This is not a two-part question. It's only one question, which is, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%. And the answer would be the very next statement, which is not actually a question, it's actually a statement, and it's actually an answer to the first question. Because what the devil teaches the 85% is right here, right? Exactly what it says. The devil teaches them that the God is a righteous and unseen being who exists everywhere. That's what the devil teaches. So there should not be a question mark at the end of that statement. It should say, question, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%. Answer, that the God is a righteous and unseen being that exists everywhere. And really, that should be the end of the degree, because it didn't ask you what God teaches the 85%, which is right here, which is what I just highlighted, because the devil don't teach this part right here. The devil don't teach that Allah is the God in the earth and the heavens above and is just and true, and there is no righteousness, there is no unrighteousness in him, but is not unseen, is seen and heard everywhere, for he is the all eye seen. Now, that would be, I mean, even though we know the devil is a liar and he does contradict himself, but that would be two different things that the devil's teaching. If this is if both of these apply, you know, say if this second question and this official answer as it is written here applies, then this would be two different things, and in fact, two opposite things. So does the devil teach two different things? Does he teach that God is a righteous and unseen being that exists everywhere, and also teach that Allah is the God in the earth and the heavens above and is just and true, and there is no unrighteousness in him, but is not unseen, is seen and heard everywhere, for he is the all eye seen? No, the devil don't teach that. He teaches that God is a righteous and unseen being, exists everywhere. That's what the devil teaches. He don't teach that Allah is the God in the earth and the heaven and blah, blah, blah. He don't teach that. So this is why I'm saying that to make this degree correctly and grammatically, in grammatic proper perspective, it would have to say, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%. Period. Question mark. Answer, that God is a righteous and unseen being, exists everywhere. And it should be a period right there. And now really, like I said, if the question is asking, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%, why does God add his 2 cents in here? Why is it saying that Allah is the God in the earth and the heavens above and is just and true and da 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 da? Why is it saying that? In contrast to that God is a righteous and unseen being that exists everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that wouldn't be an answer to what the devil teaches. That would be just in general what we teach, what God teaches, what the 5% teach, that Allah is the God in the earth and the heavens and just and true, and there's no righteousness in him, but it's not unseen, near seen, and heard everywhere for he's all I seen. You know what I'm saying? That's what we teach. That's not what the devil teaches. So you see what I'm saying? So to make this degree proper and correct, it would say, tell us what the devil teaches the 85%, question mark, answer that the God is a righteous and unseen being who exists everywhere. Now, the only way that this below that's highlighted should apply in the answer is if in the first question they said, tell us what the devil and God teaches the 85%, or tell us what the devil teaches the 85% and tell us what God teaches the 85%. Then it would say that being that they ask what the devil teaches first, it would only be in order, in proper order to answer what the devil teaches first, then answer what God teaches second. So then it would say that God is the righteous and unseen being that exists everywhere. And then God teaches that Allah is the God in the earth and the heavens and is just and true and there's no unrighteousness in him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that would go. But it's not structured that way. It's structured as two questions, but the second question is actually the answer to the first question. So that's not structured properly. That's not answered 100% right and exact. That's answered very near correct. And I'm showing you how to make it correct, 100% right and exact. You understand? That's how you would make that question. And like I said, being that they're only initially asking, tell us what the devil teaches, then they should only be answering what the devil teaches, not what God teaches. Because that's not what the question is asking. Why you giving an answer for something that's not pertaining to the question? See what I'm saying? That's like extra stuff. That's like this. All this down here is extra pertaining to the initial question. You know what I mean? Like it is relevant and it does make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not true. It is relevant and it does make sense, but it's not in the answer of the initial question, which is tell us what the devil teaches, not what God teaches. Okay? So I don't want to keep reiterating it and reiterating it and reiterating it. I don't know how many times I gotta go over it. That's clear as day. If y'all can't see that, then I don't know what y'all looking at. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you want to make that a run-on sentence or a run-on question and make those two questions when it's actually a statement and an answer to the first question, then you can go ahead and do that if that's what you want to do. And you could grammatically take this out of order and have a mental misunderstanding about that degree because you haven't put it grammatically in perspective so you can understand it properly. If you want to go on and keep misunderstanding something that was answered very near correct, then go on and keep doing that. Or you can understand what I just broke down and what I broke down in those other degrees as well, and apply that to your understanding, into your wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, when you don't understand what you're quoting, that means that you are indoctrinated. You are just quoting something verbatim that you don't even understand. That means that you are indoctrinated. I'm not a 120 robot where somebody could push a button. One, who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic black man, the original owner, third planet Earth, all of civilization, so we're all of the universe. Button two, who was the colored man? The colored man is the Caucasian white man, the Yakub got the devil of planet Earth. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, man. Not a 120 robot. You know what I'm saying? So if you program yourself, if you indoctrinate yourself with these lessons, then you'll be just like a Christian who indoctrinate themselves with the Bible and don't understand what they're reading. And they quote in Bible verses and don't even understand what the verses mean. The same thing with these lessons. If you're indoctrinated and you don't break things down for your own mind to make sense in your own mind, then you are simply another follower. You are indoctrinated and you need to wash your brain because you are brainwashed. You need to wash your brain of that indoctrinated way of thinking and stop being brainwashed. You need to wash your brain of that indoctrinated way of thinking. Because otherwise, like I said, you're just going to be quoting lessons and not understanding what the hell you quoting, but you just quoting. Yeah, God. See, tell us what the devil teaches to 85%, that the God is the righteous and unseen God that exists everywhere. Allah is the God in the earth and the heavens and is unseen. Come on, man. See what I'm saying, man? I just be quoting shit. Just be quoting shit. Just be quoting shit. And don't be breaking shit down. And like the instructor of the lesson told you to do, or told you that you implied that you should do. Because why else would he mention that these questions of this lesson is answered very near correct? Why would he mention that? If everything in the lesson is 100% right and exact, oh, let me show you something too. Ooh, see what I'm saying? This is why you got to study, man. Let me show y'all something. This is why you got to study. See what I'm saying? See how people don't study? Let me show you something. This people don't study. Let me show you something. And I'm not saying, because there's many people that's watching this, maybe watching this, that know exactly what I'm talking about, because they actually study and they've been breaking this stuff down for themselves. And they're not just indoctrinated by what they're reading, they actually breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, if this says this lesson is answered very near correct, and all students should read and study until he or she can recite it by heart. What I would suggest you doing is making these answers, questions and answers, 100% right and exact, at least according to the English language. At least apply the English language, English lesson. Apply the English language to these degrees, so we could, because that's what they're written in. It's written in English. We're speaking in English. We're using English. It's the language we're speaking. So, you know what I mean? Somebody's like, what is his own language? His own language is mathematics. Yes, true indeed. Yes, you know what I mean? But remember, the lesson itself says English C lesson, C1. You know what I'm saying? English lesson C1. So it's an English lesson in the language that his uncle does not speak. Maybe mathematics, yes, of course, but more so it's English. We don't know how to speak English properly. That's why it says in these lessons, it speaks about how you must know how to speak well. You know what I'm saying? The wise man the something is cumbersome, and there's some whatever in the teaching says how you must speak well. Basically, you know what I'm saying? I took that to heart. You must speak well. You must know how to speak well. You must, because the dumb, deaf, and blind, the term dumb don't mean that you're stupid or incapable of learning. The word dumb means that you don't know how to speak. Not knowing how to speak means you don't know how to, not saying you don't know how to say words, but what I'm saying meaning as an adult, you should be of a certain maturity level as to where you're able to articulate yourself in a certain manner to make understanding understood. You know what I'm saying? In such a way, and that's why we say, even with the mathematics, we say, yo, God, make it plain, God, make it plain. Make it plain to ask the way you can break this down to a baby. Now, if you're speaking to a grown-ass man that understands high science, yeah, you can get high science with it, you can go high science. But if you're speaking to a baby or a newborn, somebody who's just coming to this information, you make it plain. You make it plain, like I was saying to the brother earlier. You know what I'm saying? The flag, the sun in the flag represents the man. The moon represents the woman. The child represents the star. Brother's talking about, yo, God, you see Shamgar's breakdown. He was talking about how, I'm like, yeah, I heard Shamgar's breakdown and all of that. You know what I'm saying? However, we basically generally know sun, moon, and star represents man, woman, and child. Shamgar, he was breaking down, he was talking about how he went into a whole lot of allegories as they spoke about how him and the father had walked and talked, and the father was breaking down the allegories of the positions of the sun, the moon, and the stars, and how they apply to man, woman, and child, and things of that nature. He was breaking these things down. So we got to understand that these are allegories that apply through the print, that have universal principles that apply to man, woman, and child. So like Shamgar was talking about things about how like the star, the 5-point star represents power. It represents 5 points of power. The arm, leg, arm, head represent 5 points of power. Now we know in the mathematics, when my mathematics comes to power, it don't say this represented by the star. It can, like the 5-point star can represent power. You know what I mean? But in my mathematics, when it says understanding, it says is the symbolic to the star, which represents the black child. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge says symbolic to the sun, which represents the black man. Wisdom, symbolic to the moon, which represents the black woman. The child, the understanding is symbolic to the star, which represents the black child. Come on, simple, man. I don't know what brothers be coming with all this other stuff. Yeah, God, the seed means this and that. Like one brother one time, he told me, he was like, no, God, the star only represents the male child. And I'm like, yo, man, where you get that from, man? That's with that sexist ass teaching. That's why a lot of these brothers you see at the parliament ain't got no damn earth. Because y'all talking that sexist ass teaching and y'all not seeing the equality of the universe, the equality within the flag. It's not that sexist, oh man, I don't need woman for nothing. All she do is have my babies. And all that sexist ass teaching. Like I said, man, all that sexist ass shit, that's why brothers ain't got no earth. And that's why you ain't gonna have no earth, or you ain't gonna keep no earth. Talking that shit you talking, that yeah, woman ain't nothing. All she is to have my babies, dog. That's all she needs to do. I don't need to teach her no lessons. All she needs to know is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's it, dog. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why, like I made that post, you know what I'm saying? I made that post about, why there more gods at the parliament than there are earths. But then at the church, there's more women in the church than there are men. You know what I'm saying? And if I could expound upon that, you know what I'm saying, for a minute, because being that we talking about that topic, my understanding of that. Now, as far as for the men, like I said, there's a lot of men at the parliament and no earths, because a lot of men might be talking that sexist ass talk that been passed down to them from a lot of older gods talking that shit. And you don't never these brothers that be talking that type of shit. Not all the gods. I'm not saying not all the gods, the majority of gods, but there are a good number of gods that I've heard that type of talk from. You know what I'm saying? All that sexist ass talk. And these same brothers, I ain't never in the 20-something years I've been coming to these parliaments, I ain't never seen them with a woman, with an earth. Why is that? Plenty of women on this planet. Plenty of women on this planet. In fact, women outnumber men on the planet. So what is brother's excuse in not having a woman? Not even saying that she gotta, get all into the culture and bear witness to the teaching, because we know that takes time. But at least a black woman, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself a black woman, brother. You know what I'm saying? And teach her that she is a queen, and give her some self-esteem, and teach her, who you are, and not just don't be so arrogant about yourself and just teach all about God, but you ain't got no knowledge of the earth. She got to get knowledge of herself too. She got to know who she is as a woman, because and so that she could begin to spin on her own axis. Because knowledge this, the earth does revolve around the sun, but guess what? Also, the earth also spins on her own axis. So yes, she's revolving around the almighty sun, but she's also spinning on her own axis, meaning that although she revolves around the sun, she's still responsible for her own actions. She revolves on her own axis. You know what I'm saying? Which means that she's in tune with herself, she's in tune with her cycle, she's in tune with her seasons as the earth, she's in tune with all of that. So she's the only one revolving, she's the only one spinning on her own axis. No other woman is spinning on her own axis. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to understand that. So we got to understand the science of the earth and be able to teach the woman. You know what I'm saying? Gods ain't got no knowledge to teach the woman. A lot of gods. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying all gods. I'm saying like these type of brothers. Like I said, let me specify what I'm saying. These type of brothers talking that sexist teaching, you ain't got no knowledge of the earth. You don't really know much about the earth. A lot of brothers be talking that the earth, the black woman is the earth, because the earth is covered 3/4 of water, and the black woman covers herself 3/4 of clothing because she's the earth. That's it. That's it, dog. That's all you know about the black woman being the earth. What about the fact that, okay, how does that apply? Well, in the summertime, you know that the sun is more hot on the earth and it's evaporating more water. So guess what? The sea lines recede, which means more water being evaporated on the earth. So guess what? In the summertime, don't you see women wearing less clothing? Because it's hot, God damn it. They ain't gonna be out here like some of the Muslim women dressed up with 5/5, not even 3/4. The Muslim women be dressed 5/5 with their eyes just sticking out like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's extra OD. You know what I'm saying? The earth is covered 3/4 with water, and therefore the woman covers herself 3/4 with clothing, varying, gradually varying based upon the season. Because, like I said, in the summertime, she might wear a little less clothing. Not like she's gonna walk around half naked like some of these promiscuous women who have no culture about themselves, who have no knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and refinement, who are out here being a savage in pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? Because they're living a beast way of life. So they think they try to seek happiness. They think that they're trying to, be a bad bitch and walk around with all this fake makeup on, fake wig, fake nails, fake this, fake that, fake ass attitude, and then turn around and talk about they're looking for a real man. How the fuck is everything about you fake as hell, but you talk about you looking for a real man? Sister, you got it backwards. Got it backwards. Make yourself real. Wear your real hair. Take that fake makeup off your face because you're a beautiful black woman and you have nothing to make up for. You understand? Be your natural, original self, and the brothers will appreciate you. You know, when you got your natural hair, the brothers be like, "Oh, I like your hair, sis. Your hair looking nice. I like that." You know what I'm saying? When you got that fake ass weave on, niggas ain't like, "Yo, ma, I like that. I like them fake ass lace fronts you got on. Yo, that weave is pop. That raggedy ass weave is popping, ma. Oh shit, that shit is fine, yo." Niggas ain't complimenting on no fake ass weave. But when they see you with your natural hair, looking in your natural state of beauty, the brothers is gonna be all up your tail. You know what I'm saying? Shit. What you talking about, man? Y'all sister got it wrong, man. Y'all thinking that fake makeup, fake eyelashes, fake nails, fake all that fake shit is gonna get you a real man. No, because that real man may be attracted to you sexually, but after a while of being with you, if he's a real man, he's gonna teach you something, or he's gonna try. He's gonna teach you something. And if you ain't getting with the program, sister, guess what? That high value man, that good man, that real man is not going to be sticking around putting up with your ratchet ass, ghetto ass, fake ass weave, fake hair, fake nails. I don't need no man. He ain't putting up with that shit. Not no real man that you say you looking for. He ain't putting up with that shit. So you better get your shit right. Talk about you looking for a real man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to the lessons. I mean, I went up on a little tangent real fast. Back to the lessons. So, like I said, so it says, and I'm gonna end off on this last degree because there's other degrees I can point out as well, but I'm gonna end off on this one real fast just to show you how you have to study. You have to study. You have to study. And not just study, meaning just reading these lessons so you can memorize them and be able to recite them. Study means you're intricately breaking down these lessons, word for word, sentence for sentence, paragraph for paragraph. You understand? And understanding the format of structure of writing. You know, when you write an essay, you start off with your thesis statement, then you come in with the introduction, then you go into the body, and that basic layout is all based upon the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Everything is knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Trust law, the executor, trustee, beneficiary, that's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know what I'm saying? When you write in an essay, the introduction is the knowledge. You're letting people know that the thesis statement and the introduction, you can say, is the knowledge. You're introducing people to what it is that you're about to speak about, you're about to talk about. You know what I'm saying? You'll start off with something like, millions of people in America do not have a will, and therefore they will die intestate, meaning that the government is going to come in and probate their estate, meaning that everything they work for is not going to be passed on to their children. It's going to be taken by the government. Sentence, period. I know that was a long ass sentence, but you can break that down. That was a run-on sentence right there. But you can break that down into a couple of sentences, you know what I'm saying? But that would be your thesis statement, and then you can get into your introduction. And you can say, a will A will is, a document that you draw up, which is stating that you are transferring property into your will or into your trust, and you're holding this property in a safeguard for future beneficiaries. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the purpose of a trust or a will. You know what I'm saying? To keep generational wealth in your family. So you can pass on your wealth to your family. They pass on your wealth and their wealth to their family. They pass on your wealth, their wealth, and their kids' wealth. They pass on to their family. Now, 3-4 generations down the line, you got 3 or 4 generations of wealth held in the family through trust and through a will. You see the importance of it? So now, actually, that part I just broke down right there, that will be like in the body. So the introduction, I will state what a will, in the thesis, I'll state the fact that a lot of people don't have wills because they don't understand the importance of it. In the introduction, I'll state that, what a will is. Then when I get into the body of my composition or my essay, I'll talk about the importance of a will and the reason you should have a will. And if you don't have a will, what happens, and blah, 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 blah. And then in the conclusion, which is the understanding, the introduction is the knowledge, the body of the composition is the wisdom, and then the conclusion is the understanding. See how simple that is? Everything is 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Stop trying to make this shit X, Y, and Z before you do A, B, C. You know what I'm saying? People be trying to make this shit LGBT, sometimes Y. Man, stop that shit, man. A, B, C, okay? Everything is A, B, C. It's that fucking simple. Stop trying to make this shit some complicated next shit. It's simple, okay? So, like I was saying. So going back into this degree, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, you got, it says, this lesson is answered very near correct. Now, and I think, and like I said, if you ask me, it's just my opinion, this is my opinion right here. This first degree, if you ask me, he did this on purpose just to see if people are paying attention. In fact, peep this. I'm about to read this degree to see if y'all paying attention or if y'all just quoting a degree. Peep this. The question asks, who made the Holy Quran or Bible? That's one question. How long ago? That's another question. Will you tell us why does Islam renew its history every 25,000 years? That's the third question. So there's 3 questions being asked, and they're about to answer them in that format. You know what I'm saying? Because everything has structure to it. You understand? So now, it says, the Holy Quran or Bible is made by the original people, who is Allah. So now, we know people consist of more than just man. People would be man, woman, and child. So Allah would be man, woman, and child, which is the original people. The original people, who is Allah. Not by the original man, who is Allah. The original people, who is Allah. And then it goes into specify. See what I'm saying? Then it goes into specify the supreme being or black man of Asia. And then, like I say, if you want to get technical too, when you look up the definition of man, man includes woman and child as well. You know what I'm saying? So man is not just the male species. You see what I'm saying? So, if you want to get technical, and that's why I say when you go into things and when you study, look up the definition of words, then you'll understand how they apply. And then when we apply the English language, we make things grammatically correct. Then we see how they apply grammatically. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I said, so this says here, all right, so the Holy Quran will expire in the year 25,000. Keep this right here, y'all. 980 years from the date of this writing. Now we know the date of this writing is 1934, right? Because check it out. We're not gonna cap. We're gonna show and prove everything you said. Excuse me. What does it say down here? It says, this lesson number 2 was given by our prophet W.D. Ford, which contains 40 questions answered by Elijah Muhammad. So Farad at W.D. Ford asked the questions, and then Farad gave the answers. And it says, one of the lost found in the wilderness of North America, February 20th, 1934. That is the date of this writing, February 20th, 1934. Now, it says that the Holy Quran will expire. Now, let's go back up to the degree. See, I'm showing y'all how to study, how to cross-reference. This is what you call cross-referencing. This is how you cross-reference. You understand? Now it says, the Holy Quran or Bible is made by the original people who was Allah, the supreme being of black man. The Quran will expire in the year 25,000. Which is 980 years from the date of this writing. Now, we know when we do the math, it's not 980 years from the date of that writing. It's actually 9,980 years from the date of this writing, which is 1934. You know what I'm saying? So, and how you figure that out is by looking up the date from the Gregorian calendar, which would be February 20th, 1934, and then apply that to the Asiatic calendar, because that's what they're talking about in these lessons, the Asiatic calendar. You know what I'm saying? So now when we understand time cycle, you know what I'm saying? And I got that jewel from the brother Ra Simba, you know what I'm saying? I always give credit to my sources. I always stealing people's sayings and informations and shit like that, man. I always give credit to my sources. And I shout out my brothers, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I got that terminology from the God, Ra Simba, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the God. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, understanding time cycle, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, you would look that date up and compare it to the Asiatic calendar, and then you would see that it's actually 9,980 years from the date of this writing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Which will bring you back to the year one, 15,000, you know what I'm saying, 15,000 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So yeah, according to like it says, in the Asiatic world, it is the year 2000. You know what I'm saying? So you got to compare the Asiatic world to the Gregorian calendar. You have to cross-reference the dates, and that's how you get that. So now that we know that it's not 980 years from the date of this writing, it's actually 9,980 years from the date of this writing. Now, being that we know that, why does this next statement say the Nation of Islam is all wise and does everything right and exact? But wait a minute. This statement right here above that was not right and exact. It was not. It was answered very near correct. It was not answered correct. It's actually 9,980 years from the date of this writing. Not 980 years. It's 9,980. So the Nation of Islam didn't necessarily do that right and exact. See what I'm saying? See? So, like I said, and if you ask me, I think Elijah, that's just my opinion, because I can't put words in his mouth and I can't assume what, you know what I'm saying, what he did other than what was clearly written. Like I showed y'all exactly what was clearly written. So that's not an assumption. That's facts right before your face. But as far as this is my opinion. I think he did that in this degree on purpose, so that those who are studying these lessons could make it right and exact, and then know that, yo, don't just take my word on face value, because like the lessons say, 85% take things on face value. The laborers of the Nation of Islam and the nation and the gods of the 5%, you know, Nation of Gods of Earth, we are not to take anything on face value, because we are to be all wise and do everything right and exact. So, like I said, once you go through your math, once you do the math and you correct that date, that number of years from the date of this writing, which would be 9,980 years, then you'll be all wise and you'll be doing everything right and exact. Okay? But until you make that correction, guess what? You're gonna be very near correct. You're not gonna be 100%. You're not gonna be all wise, right, and exact. You're gonna be very near correct. That's what you're gonna be. And a lot of brothers right now who have not seen that right there, who don't study, who don't look through it with the keen eye, guess what, bro? When you quote your lessons, you are very near correct. You're not all wise and you're not doing it right and exact. You're not doing everything right and exact. Because if you did everything right and exact, you would definitely get this degree in order. You know what I'm saying? and the other degrees that I showed you as well. Put them in perspective. Stop quoting stuff as a quoter. You know what I'm saying? Stop being an indoctrinated quoter and break these lessons down for what they are actually saying and put them in perspective. And on that note, sorry to scream and shout at y'all. Sorry to, speak loud as if you might think I'm yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just trying to speak very assertive and be firm and stand the square so that, we can correct these things. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Because also, when we go into the next degree, also it says the circumference of the earth is 24,896 miles, approximately 25,000 miles, approximately. So now, remember, if it says that the Nation of Islam is all wise and does everything right and exact, now it further says the planet Earth, which is the home of Islam. And remember, Elijah Muhammad thought that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. So if the planet Earth is the home of Islam, don't you want to have the mathematics of the home of your home correct? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to know what time you leave in the house, you want to know what time, like, just going into that a little something, just be more general and specific or into your personal. Don't you want to know what time you leave the house, what time your wife leave the house, what time you come back in, what time you come back in, what time you making dinner, what time you know what I'm saying? You got mathematics that applies to your house, right? You know what I'm saying? You tell your kids what time their curfew is, da-da-da-da. You want to make sure your kids are doing their homework so their grades is up. You know what I'm saying? You got mathematics that you deal with in your house, right? You know what I'm saying? You're teaching your kids they supreme mathematics, supreme alphabets, you know what I'm saying? They lessons, all that good stuff. How to apply the mathematics to the lessons. You got mathematics, right? So if Islam is mathematics, mathematics is Islam, and the planet Earth is the home of Islam, and is approximately 25,000 miles in circumference, then how could the wise man of the East, not even how could the wise man of the East, it says, so the wise man of the East, black man, makes his history or Quran to equal his home circumference. A year to every mile. A year to every mile. Not approximately to every year or every mile. It says a year to every mile. So that should be not approximately 24,896 miles, approximately 25,000 miles, because that means that there's 104 years or 104 miles that's not accounted for. Now, some brothers from Nation of Islam, I heard them say, see, that 104 represents 104 books written by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, brother, that's what that represents. All right. Okay. I done heard a whole lot of stuff, and that's one of them. But anyway, that doesn't apply to miles on the planet Earth and how you apply that to your history. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this says a year to every mile. So that means that if there's 25,000 years of history, there should be exactly 25,000 miles on the planet Earth, not approximately, because that means that now your history is not going to be 100% right and exact. It's going to be very near correct. It's going to be very near correct. It's not going to be 100% right and exact. Brother could be mad. I know some brothers probably mad at me, like, yo, man, what are you talking about? Why are you breaking down the tree like that? Because I'm showing you what you don't see and what you don't pay attention to. Don't get mad like, yo, what the fuck are trying to say Elijah was wrong or something? Elijah told you what it was. He told you this was answered very near correct. Okay? No, I'm not saying Elijah was wrong. I'm showing you what Elijah told us to do or implied that we should do, or what any wise man would see that he should do. Instead of being a quoter and an indoctrinated parrot, they would study for themselves, cross-reference for themselves, so that they can know and understand for themselves. Because like I said, I am no follower. I am not indoctrinated by these lessons. I study them, I cross-reference them, I born understanding. I don't accept them word for word, exactly what it says, quote it verbatim, and be like, yeah, God, I know my lessons. Do you really know your lessons? Do you really know your lessons? Or are you just able to, you memorize them and you're able to recite them? Do you really know and understand them? A lot of brothers just be quoting shit, and then they want to break this down and verbally masturbate and sound fly. Yeah, so God, see that means that. Like, man, listen, tell that shit to a baby. You ain't telling me nothing. Not no, pardon, so let me stop. Let me not say that. Because that sounds ignorant, as if I can't be told anything. No, I never think like that. But I'm always open to learn. I am never ignorant. Getting goals accomplished. I'm not a nigga. I'm never. If I am a nigga, like Tupac said, I'm never ignorant. Getting goals accomplished. That's my NIGGA. You know what I'm saying? NIGGA. Never ignorant. Getting goals accomplished. And that's my B-Day. You know what I'm saying? I'm never ignorant. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that brothers be trying to break stuff down to me as if like I haven't had knowledge of self since I was 14 and I'm now 39. And I've been studying these lessons diligently, consistently, persistently for like 20-something years now. Like, you think you need to take me through the 1 to 10 and show me baby knowledge? No, bro. Let me show you something. Okay? Let me expand your horizon. Okay? Because all that just quoting lessons and trying to break down this and verbal masturbate, bro, you ain't teaching me nothing. I've been there and done that. I've been there and done all of that. That's why a lot of brothers don't want to hit me up on Facebook. A lot of brothers ain't trying to holler at the God. I want to build with all these other brothers just going through the motions, quoting today's mathematics, reciting the lessons, and yeah, God, that was peace, God. Yeah, word is ball, God. God is knowledge, God. Peace, God. And all that, using peace as a password to not know anything else. Peace, God. That was peace, God. Peace, God. Peace, God. Yeah, God. Peace, God. Yeah, that was peace, God. Word is ball. Yeah, word peace, God. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking tired to hear that shit. Peace, God. Like, man, what the fuck was so peace about it? It's some shit you've been hearing the same damn thing over and 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 over fucking years now. What the fuck is so peace about that shit? That ain't made nothing peace about that to me. Don't come to me quoting some mathematics or some lessons, man. I've been hearing that shit for years now, man. Not shit. Steve, I'm not calling the lessons shit. I'm talking about brothers just quoting lessons and then folding up their arms and thinking they did something. Man, get out of here with that, man. If you're not about to expound upon that degree, there ain't no need of you quoting it for me. Because if you ain't got no extra build, you ain't got no add-on, you ain't got no C on that lesson. Ooh, English C lesson. English C1. We know C is the C with the third eye, and 1 is the knowledge. So you got to understand or see the knowledge. You got to understand the knowledge. Brothers don't understand the knowledge. I don't think a lot of brothers understand. That's why and the brothers I'm talking about are the brothers that's jumping on Facebook, trying to swing swords with the great one, trying to be on they smack DVD battle rap shit on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Thinking, oh, if I come at Masiah, oh, let me try to battle this nigga and let people see me go back and forth with him like I'm challenging the great one. Man, get out of here with that corny shit, man. None of you catch coming at me with that bullshit. None of you can make a presentation like I'm making right now. None of you have self-styled wisdom. None of you are actual teachers. A teacher is one who can explain knowledge. None of you can explain any of this shit. That's why you're on Facebook trying to argue with me when I'm dropping jewels in high science, trying to argue with me like you know some shit, and then just start quoting and reciting baby knowledge that everybody already knows. You ain't adding on no extra high science to nothing. You ain't elaborating. You laying down the same foundation that brother's been laying down since 1964. You ain't you ain't adding no extra brick on top of that. God, man, like get the fuck out of here, man. Add on another brick, man. If I don't see you laying another brick, and all I see is the bricks that I already know in 120. Let's compare the bricks of the degrees of 120 to bricks in a building. If those first 120 degrees make up the foundation of that building, and you keep telling me about the bricks in that foundation, and you not adding nothing on, then you ain't building, man. Get off the work site, man. Get off the site, bro. You're not building, bro. You're not building. You're just fiddling around with the foundation. We already know what the foundation is. It's laid already. Man, get yourself a beam and put up a beam, because we starting to put up the walls and the ceilings now. Okay, we're done with the foundation. Okay, get yourself a beam, get yourself a measurer, and put up some beams now. Okay, now it's time to add and build on the foundation, which is already laid since 1934, which is the date of this writing, February 20th, 1934. That foundation has been laid. So y'all still laying them same bricks, them same bricks. You ain't building. No more bricks. The bricks have been laid. Now it's time for the wood and the steel beams to go up. Okay? And that don't come from it comes from the essence of the bricks. I would rather say it's going to stand upon those bricks. It's going to stand upon the 120. But now it's time to add something on. So like I said, man, if you ain't got no add-on to your lesson or how you see the lesson, I don't want to hear no quoting lesson shit, man. Go somewhere with that. Go to the babies with that. You know what I'm saying? Go quote lessons with the babies. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no add-on. Get out of here with that quoting lesson shit. Yeah, dog. Who was the original man? Oh, and now I'm going to end off on this degree, which is one of the most important degrees, if not the most important degree. Who is the original man? And the brother tried to tell me, yeah, God, there's different levels. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, for some reason, brother's phones always be messing up or something be happening, this and that, and I don't know, whatever. But I was about to get into how, the brother was telling me, like, there's like, and like once again, no disrespect to the brother's build. You know what I'm saying? He was adding on, what he understood and everything. But what I'm trying to say, to me, that was baby knowledge, dog. I heard that like 20 years ago. I know that there's 7 attributes in the knowledge degree. I know there's an Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, queen of the planet Earth, father of civilization, and God of the universe. I know there's 7 attributes. I know that. And I don't know that. Now let me show you how you actually make that applicable. The brother said the 7 different levels the brother got to go through to understand he's God and all that. Okay. Now let me show you how you actually make that applicable to life. Because we say that the last attribute says God of the universe. So how does God become God of the universe? By first acknowledging the fact that he is the Asiatic black man. As we say, Asia being the body, the attic being the upstairs, or the elevating state of consciousness, which is the brain or the mind. So Asiatic meaning body and mind, or one body and one mind. You know what I'm saying? One body and mind. Or the body and mind together as one. Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize you are the Asiatic black man. Realize that you are in tune, get in tune with your mind and body. And then you become the maker and owner, because as the original man, you are man. One of your most essential attractions in the universe is the black woman. So when the attraction powers of the black woman, get your attention, and you choose to shine your light upon that planet, and you teach her the knowledge of who you are and give her knowledge of also who she is. Like I said, well, you got to have some knowledge of the earth as well. You can't just be stuck on that, the earth's covered 3/4 of water. And like I said, I'm not going to go into that deep as well. Let me just say a few things. Like I said, the seasons of the earth, the God, and I'm not just quoting from another God, but like I said, I learned this from the God true wise. on the True Wise channel. You know what I'm saying? He got a documentary, the Black Woman of Earth, and he's going very much in deep depth with it. Like he's breaking down the water cycle, the oxygen cycle, the nitrogen cycle, and how these different cycles apply to women. You know what I'm saying? Our menstruation cycle. You know what I'm saying? And I go into that really deep too, because I grew up a Jew, breaking down the 6 chakras of the earth. You know what I'm saying? How you have the lithosphere, which is symbolic to the earth element, the hydrosphere, which is the water element, the cryosphere, which is the fire element, biosphere, which is the air element, the exosphere, which is the light element. You know what I'm saying? And so forth and so forth. And all of that applies to the earth. And all of that applies to the chakras or the heaven within you, your solar plexus, your connection of stars, your network of stars in your body. You know what I'm saying? All of that applies, man. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me get back to the Greek. So once you get with that black woman, because you know how they say you get together, break it down. To get her. In order to get together, he has to get her. To get her together. In order for them to be together, he has to get her. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it's if it was she has to get he, and then that last letter would be rule, because she would have to get him under her rule, because you know what I'm saying, a woman ain't supposed to be ruling, the man is supposed to be ruling, or supposed to be setting the rules, and the woman's supposed to enforce the rules. That's why the king is the ruler. The king metaphor, well, I say when that in the Greek alphabet, rule or ruler, the king lays the rules in the kingdom, in the foundation. He lays the rules in the home, and the queen enforces the rules of the king, especially when he's not present. So when the man is not home, the woman, the queen, knows that there's certain rules of the home. She knows not to have no other man in that home when the man is not present. She knows not to, you know what I'm saying, be doing, you know, now type of thing. She knows not to be cooking no swine in the God's house. You know what I'm saying? Certain rules, you know, whatever your rules are of your kingdom. The queen enforces those rules, and she enforces those rules to the children and whatever guests that come over to your home. She enforces the rules of the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Which were laid down by the king. You know what I mean? So that's the rule or ruler. The king lays down the rule, and the queen is the ruler. She enforces the rules. You know what I'm saying? So you know how James Brown said, it's a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is a man's world. And that's what I was trying to explain to the mother earlier. He kept emphasizing on, but you know, man is the sperm, the man is the God, I know the man is the foundation. Like I said, once again, with that sexist teaching, man. God, I know that, man. But you got to know who the woman is too. Otherwise, you're not going to be dealing in any equality. And guess what? You're not going to be able to maintain and keep a woman. Because even if a woman don't know mathematics and all of that, women understand their own nature. Life is nature. Life is natural. Women know things people know things just naturally. Even if they're not into 120 lessons in the mathematics and alphabet and understand how to break these things down all mathematically the way the gods of earth do. They still understand basic things about life, and they'll just say it in their common language. You know what I'm saying? So they know these things. You know what I'm saying? You think the 85er is blind to his woman. He ain't blind to his woman. He know what his woman is doing, whether it's right and exact or not. You know what I'm saying? Now, how he handles it, he may not have all the wisdom that a God may have on how to handle that situation, but he knows what the fuck is going on. Niggas is not blind, man. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with a woman. She not blind. She know what's going on, man. She don't even have to know all the lessons in the mathematics. She can know if you right and exact about what you say just in general. She knows that in any way of life that a woman should be treated a certain way. She knows that just so quick. Even if she ain't living that way herself properly, because a lot of women be using that double standard shit too. Like, you're not even living right and exact, and you're not even living like a queen, but you want me to treat you like a queen? No, fuck all that. I want a man to treat me like a queen. I'm not going to treat you like a queen. I'm going to treat you as a queen if that's who you are being as. If you're not being a queen, then I can't treat you like that, because that's not what you're being for yourself. I can only treat you like what you are doing for yourself. I can't treat you no other way. You know what I'm saying? So respect is given by respect is given by those who show it. If you show that you respect yourself, then people are going to give you respect. People are going to show you respect. If you show that you don't respect yourself, then people are not going to respect you. They're going to watch, I respect this person. They don't respect themselves. In fact, the fact that they see that you don't respect yourself, they may feel that they can disrespect you, or that they don't have to hold you in the highest regards of respect because you don't respect yourself. So respect yourself. You know what I'm saying? How that song goes? Respect yourself. You gotta respect yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? And respect is part of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? As you say, knowledge is a look, listen, observe, also respect. So, and respect, means to do again. Inspect means to look, as inspect, spectrum or perspective. You know what I'm saying? Respect means to take another look. So when you see, say for example, you see like Muslim people or Jewish people, you see them with their certain religious garb. You know what I'm saying? When you look at them, you will respect them because you see something different about them that may even make you look twice at them. Like you might look at them and be like, and look back and be like, oh, what's that thing on his head? Oh, that's a yarmulke. Jewish people wear yarmulkes. Or you look at a Muslim person, like, hey, what's that thing on their head? Oh, that's a kufi. Muslims wear kufis. Or you see the god, one of the gods of earth, or the queen, she got a crown on. The god, he got a crown on. The queen got her head wrap on. The god got his crown with the tassel. And you're like, what's that thing on his head? Oh, that's the crown that the gods wear with the tassel, showing that they acknowledge 120 degrees of knowledge. That's their graduation cap, you could say. You know what I'm saying? So now, if people know that, and when they see you with your flag on or with your crown on, they're going to look at you again in another light. They're going to look at you again, not to be just an average person. They're going to give you another look, a respect, another look, because they notice something different about you. You have culture, you have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and you're not a savage. And they see that every day. You're working. You're heading in the direction of the pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, yo, man, the God is always sharp, man. He always building. Every time I talk to him, he got some new science, man. He's always elevating, man. The God is constantly elevating, man. Yo, the God, true builders always build, man. The God always adding on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because, life is about constant elevation. Mathematics is a living science. It does not lay still. It's not something that's written on paper. And that's why I say, if you just quoting what you reading on paper, then it's just going to be some shit you reading off the paper. You got to make it walk and talk. So, like I was saying, let me end on this degree. So now, once you get with that woman, you become the maker. You got to make her. You become the maker. You got to make her. You know what I'm saying? And once you make her, you own her. And not in a sense of like possessive, like, yo, I own you, you're my slave or something. Because even when a man marries a woman, you technically own that woman. That woman becomes your dependent, and you become head of household as the man. And when it comes, like, say for example, when it comes tax time, the woman is claimed. You claim the woman as a dependent, just like you claim your children as well. Because guess what? Your children are your property because they are your estate. You understand? So if you really want to own your woman, you better marry that woman. And listen, and like I said, women even know that naturally. You know how you hear women saying stuff like, nigga, you don't own me. You ain't put no ring on my finger. I don't see no ring on my finger. You don't own me. You know what I'm saying? You ever hear a woman say some shit like that? You know what I mean? You ain't got no ring on my finger. You don't own me. Because they even know that if you marry them, now you own them. And a woman, and technically, I'm not all against marriage. I'm against the state marriage, because the marriage, they came in and tried to take the place of God, so to speak, and they trying to act on some ultra virus outside their authority shit. Just very quickly, remember back in the days when a man and woman get married, they used to say, by the power invested in me by Almighty God, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Now they say, by the power invested in me by the state of whatever state you in, I now pronounce you husband and wife. So now what is the state the state is taking a position of God? The state is trying to play God now? Since when did the state become God? Since when does the state give you the power, invest you with the power to marry a man and woman and bring them into holy matrimony? Holy matrimony is supposed to be a divine ordinance, right? So your power is supposed to be invested in you by God, by the creator, right? It's supposed to be something divine, a divine ordinance. not a state ordinance, a commercial contract. And that's why, man and woman, when you get married now, you got to get a license to get married. And a license is simply permission. You need permission by the state to get married. And that's the same thing they used to do in slavery. You had to go to the slave master and ask for permission to marry your wife. And he'd be like, well, I done already hit that pussy about 20 times. I already gave her about 8 half-breed children. You know what, nigga? Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty much done with her. She's been my bed wench for about 10, 20 years now. You know what? You can have her now, nigga. You can marry her. Go on. You know what I'm saying? That was some foul shit. You know what I mean? But that was the reality. You know what I'm saying? And it's still happening to this day where the state is having control over the women's minds and they'll go against the man so that they can be the babysitter for the child and all that other bullshit. But anyway, once again, I'm drifting. So like I said, you make this woman and you own her. And she makes you too, in a sense, because like I said, a man, we be thinking we the man, like, yo, I got this finance woman. But remember, we be thinking we bagged the woman. No, the woman bagged you, because remember, the woman chooses. You might have chose to shoot your shot, but she accepted to let that ball go in her net, so to speak. Or like you might try to get some, in layman's terms, excuse my language, you might try to get some nook, you know what I'm saying, some cookie from a woman. It's her choice to let you, because we ain't raping women out here. We ain't about that shit. We ain't violating women. It's her choice to allow you to mate with her. You know what I'm saying? So she chooses you. You might have made a decision to holler at her or whatever, but she chose you, because even if I say she chose you, and especially most faithful women that's just going to deal with that one man and not be dealing with multiple men. You know what I'm saying? How that song, Choosy Lover. You know what I'm saying? She's a choosy lover, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. Then she going to choose the proper man that she wants to be with. You know what I'm saying? So therefore she makes him king. Because even in our old African tradition, you know, and even like, you know, and I use Kemetic society, for example, in order for the man to become king, he had to sit upon the throne. And guess who the throne is? The woman. The woman is the throne. So you had to sit upon the throne to become king, meaning you had to get with the woman. The woman is what made you king. Because think about it. What is a king if he doesn't have a queen? So you can walk around here all day single, talk about I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. Where's your queen? If you don't have a queen, then you're not solidifying the fact that you're a king. So yes, a king does definitely need a queen. And a queen needs a king. They go hand in hand. And there's not one without the other. You're not a king if you don't have a queen, and you're not a queen if you don't have a king. Facts. So all that, you know, like I said, you see a lot of these women on Facebook and shit come out, oh, I'm queen, such and such, I'm goddess, such and such, da-da-da-da-da, I'm queen, da-da-da. And half of these damn women ain't even got no man. How you queen who? Whose queen are you? Who's queen? You know what I'm saying? Who? The queen of who? Of ratchetness? You know what I mean? The queen of Facebook? Like whose queen are you? You gotta be some man's king. You gotta be some king's queen. So anyway, like I said, you become the maker and owner. How you make this knowledge to be applicable? You realize you're the Asiatic black man. You find a black woman. You get with her. You become the maker and her owner. And then when you own her, because like, you know, how they say, you know, we're not supposed to do sex before marriage. You're supposed to marry the woman before you have sex with her, right? So after you make and own her through the marriage, then you plant your seed in her. You plant the cream in her. What is that cream? That's the cream of the planet Earth. The cream came from the man, which was the seed planted in her. But once, see, and that's why, and this is what I'm explaining to the brother. He was talking about the sun produces life. How do you reproduce life on the planet? God, come on, let me put this in simple context, man. This brother wants to sit here and play word semantics all day. Man, I'm not about that shit, man. I broke the shit down simply, bro. The sun produces life. The earth reproduces life. Once again, like I broke down, respect means to look again. Reproduce means to produce again. And he said, how does the earth reproduce life? Come on, God. Don't the earth, doesn't the earth produce vegetation every summer, every year, annually? Ah, come on, God. It's called harvest season. When you pick the crops that grew, like, come on, man. Like, common sense, man. And the black woman, isn't she able to have multiple children? I mean, does the black woman who is the earth only have one baby? Is she only able to have one child? No, she's able to have multiple children. Therefore, she's able to reproduce life, bring forth life again and again and again and again and again. Reproduce. Come on, man. How hard is that to understand? But brothers want to sit here and think I'm gonna get caught up in word semantics and play their little word games. Like you're gonna cast. See what I'm saying? Because words are spells. To put a word together, you gotta spell it, right? So, bro, don't think you're gonna sit here and play mind magic with me. Like I'm gonna get all captivated under the spell of your words, and you're gonna sit here and play word semantics with me. Man, do that with a baby, man, with a newborn. I ain't no newborn, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, man. You don't call yourself building with me, man. Then just add on, brother. Just add on. I don't do all this word semantics and caught up in words and all of that, man. I make understanding understood, man. I don't sit here and play with two pieces of steel, man. That's how you breed devil. Then brothers start getting all agitated and aggravated, and brothers get upset. Then they want to argue and da 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 da. And that breeds devil, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with two pieces of steel, man. Stop doing that, man. That's playing, man. That's playing with words. That's wordplay. That's semantics. And that shit don't get nowhere, man. That's not building. That's not building. But like I said, brothers be sometimes doing that. Not this particular brother, but I'm saying brothers be sometimes doing that to like I say, catch you under some kind of spell or captivate you with words and think that, wait, see, God, you like now you could be building in the whole thing. They'll nitpick at one little word and be like, yeah, God, but see, that word means and like, man, like I said, man, don't do that with a newborn. You're not gonna do that with me. I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. You hear all this information I just elaborated in these 2 hours of this damn build, all of this shit I've been breaking down. This is how I build, dog. And if you just simply listen, and right now there's no interjection, so I guess you just gotta listen. If people just simply listen, and I'm not just saying you gotta listen to me, because I'm listening to what you gotta say too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the only one speaking. It's not a monologue. Well, this is a monologue, but if we're building, it's a dialogue, not a monologue. So I'm not the only one talking. I'm not over talking you. I'm not asking you 1,000 questions and not giving you a chance to answer one. And then when you try to answer one, then I ask you 1,000 more questions on top of that. Like, come on, G, you're not going to do that either. You're not going to bottle me up with all these 1,001 questions and act like I'm going to get caught up under you trying to answer all your questions. Because remember, I know and understand when you're asking, the one who is asking is as king. So you're not going to act as king sitting here asking me all these questions and then thinking I'm going to be subject to you and be answering all these questions. No, God, that's not building. You're not lecturing to a baby. I'm not a baby. You know what I'm saying? So if you building with a grown-ass man who has a grown-ass, mature, universal, infinitely expanded mind, then building, like I said, is laying brick upon brick upon brick. That sets a foundation. Then once that foundation is set, now, like I said, we can go through some mathematics, we can go through some lessons to see that brothers is founded, okay, to know the lessons of mathematics, okay. Now, after that, then we're going to start building and adding on, man. If you're going to keep talking about the same science and the same things, then God, we ain't building, because I know 120 very well. So I don't need nobody to necessarily, I mean, like I said, you got certain jewels. Of course, I'm going to listen and hear certain things that you drew up from the lessons and what you, like I said, and that's what I want to hear. I want to hear what you're drawing up from these lessons, not just what it says and you repeating it to me. I know how to do that, God. I've been doing that for years. I know these lessons. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to do that to me, for me, or with me. You want to draw up what you see and how you manifest it. So, like I said, let me finish this something in depth, man. You make an owner, you make her, you own her, you plant your cream inside the planet Earth, and when that baby comes out, guess what? You're a father now. Congratulations. You just became a newborn. You just became a father of a newborn. And guess what you're going to do with that baby? You're going to teach that baby your knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and you're going to teach baby how to not be a savage because you're civilizing the child. So now it has the knowledge of wisdom that it needs. You know what I'm saying? And then the child can be in the pursuit of happiness, and you're going to set your child on the way to pursue happiness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's how you do that. See how I just made that knowledge degree applicable? Oh, and like I said, so now once you're a father, now, and like I said, you're going to apply your civilization to that child. So now you're the father of civilization. And once you became the father of civilization, now guess what? And everything is complete. Your sun, moon, star, your man, woman, and child is together, and you're all together in a happy household. Now you are what? The God of your universe. You understand? The reason why I say the God of your universe, because you are the original man. It's knowledge of yourself, not knowledge of the next man. I mean, you can acknowledge the next man and learn from him, just like you do with your father. That's the first man that you acknowledge and learn from, or should be the first man if your father's in your life. That should be the first man that you acknowledge and learn from. It's your father, because you are what your father is. So that's the first person you acknowledge and learn from. Your father of civilization, who is the God of your universe, until you mature from a star into a grown-ass son, a grown-ass man, and then you go out and do the same thing. And you repeat the civilization, or you rather say, you have the foundation of the civilization that was taught to you, and then you can go on and even add on and do even greater things. Because don't scriptures say, you shall do even greater things than I have done. You know what I'm saying? And even the Father told us to be greater than him. He said, go out and do greater things than I've done. You know what I'm saying? Be greater than me. You know what I'm saying? So the Father was encouraging us to do even greater things as a father should do. You know what I'm saying? So if we want to go out and do greater things, are we supposed to be, I mean, it's good to know what the Father said, but are we supposed to be stuck on, the Father said, 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 and that's just all we know? Because guess what? Aren't you a man? Aren't you a father? Didn't you father your own civilization? Yeah. So what do you say in 2021? Don't tell me what the Father said in 1967. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily need you to tell me that, because I'm not a baby. I know the Father's teachings, and I'm living this shit out. You know what I'm saying? I'm living it out. So I know that. I don't need to tell you what the Father said, the Father said, the Father said, the Father said, unless you see me doing something as Allah's son that's not what the Father taught, and I'm doing something that's other than what the Father did in the name of the Father. You know what I'm saying? Like I said. You know what I'm saying? Now, for example, the brother asked me about my international organization, and he said, why would you use the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, and the Father Allah? I said, because most people think that the Trinity is Farad, Elijah, and the Father. No, to me, that is not the Trinity. The Trinity to me is Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, and the Father. And like I said, knowledge and understanding is one and the same. And as we know, and I'm not using the color complex, but we know that Noble Drew Ali was a knowledge seed, and he did bring the knowledge of Islam and the knowledge of Allah, and he taught that Allah and man are one. He did teach them the knowledge that man is God before Farad Muhammad came in 1934. Moorish Science Temple, 1928. That's before 1934, right? So if we want to talk about all this, what was revealed and all of that, these revelations and all of that, but I'm talking about what was revealed by Master Muhammad and all that. I don't bear witness to no Master Muhammad, that half original man from Arabia claiming to be Allah, when the lessons that he even wrote clearly state that the original man is there's the Asiatic black man, and God is the original black man. Not the half of that God is the half original man, the original black man. So therefore, we know Noble Drew Ali was a knowledge student, the original black man. He wasn't a half original man. Therefore, that is the foundation. And on top of that, we know as far as the knowledge, the transcending of the knowledge. Morris, Master Muhammad and Elijah Bey. That's where he got the attribute Elijah Bey. Look it up, and you see Elijah Muhammad with the Moorish fez on, with the fez with the tassel coming down with the moon and star on it. You see him with the fez on, showing proving that he went through the Moorish Science Temple, and that wasn't a Shriner fez either. That wasn't a Shriner fez. You know what I'm saying? That was a Moorish fez. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and even though we know he also, went through that because he wrote the book, The Secrets of Freemasonry. How you know the secrets of Freemasonry unless you're a Mason? How you know these secrets? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and notice he says you notice it was written by the Secretary of Islam. What's the root word of secretary? Secret. The Secretary of Islam. The secretary is the one who knows the secrets. They know everything about the boss. They know everything about the manager because guess what? They're the first one they tell them to put it in writing, to document the shit. The secretary. They know all the secrets. You understand? So when he wrote that book, The Secrets of Freemasonry, how do you know the secrets unless you're initiated? So anyway, once again, so like I said, Farad and Elijah went through the Moorish Science Temple and they learned. Also, this is where they got the question and answer format for the lessons. I mean, actually, if you ask me, my opinion, if you ask me, goddammit, they got those lessons from the temple. But anyway, and whatever, did their own thing with it. So Elijah Muhammad was able to nationalize Muhammad Ali and other people in the Nation of Islam, but he didn't nationalize the whole Nation of Islam. That's why the Nation of Islam still has an X. And didn't Elijah Muhammad teach us to the black man a good name is better than gold? But he told them they got to go all the way to Mecca to get their holy names. And they know if they out there selling bean pies and final calls for you, they ain't gonna never have enough money to save up on their own to make a pilgrimage to Mecca to go and get their holy name. So maybe when Malcolm made his pilgrimage and he found out and he saw real Islam or Islam as it was taught traditionally, not Elijah's, version of Islam, saying as he did bring, and so did Noble Drew Ali, who taught Islamism, which was a version of Islam, saying? And Elijah Muhammad taught that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. So we know that we teach Islam as mathematics. So, like the father came and taught supreme mathematics. And his understanding of that came from the problem book, the question number 13, where it speaks about how mathematics should be proven beyond with no limited time, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it says you can use mathematical language, to be successful in all walks of life and so forth and all of that. And it says how, one must speak well. And it says if there's 10 letters in the number system, and a person were to learn a letter per day, how long should it take them to learn the 10 numbers? Obviously, 10 days. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. How long should it take a person to learn the 26 letters? Obviously, 26 days. So if you learn your supreme mathematics, it should only take you 10 days to learn supreme mathematics, a degree a day, a number a day. The first day, you learn knowledge. Second day, you learn wisdom. Third day, you learn understanding. Fourth day, you learn culture. Fifth day, you learn, what I'm saying? And so forth, so forth. Same thing with alphabet. 26 days, you should learn the supreme alphabet in 26 days. Take the whole day memorizing, studying, understanding who Allah is. The next day, take the whole day studying, memorizing, and understanding what be or born is. The next day, take the whole day understanding, and especially like if you're newborn into this nation is during Corona time and you ain't working and you ain't doing shit all day, God damn it, there's no reason why you shouldn't be knowing your lessons. Study that shit, God damn it. What are you doing all day? People be wasting time all day fiddling around, dealing around in the 85% world or the 10% world. Man, get your mind in the Asiatic world and learn your goddamn lessons in mathematics and get your shit right. So anyway, like I said, man, so like I said, I was supposed to end on that knowledge degree, and I just broke it down basically how you make that applicable. You find a woman, or rather say you realize yourself as an Asiatic black man, you find a woman, you become the maker and owner, you plant your seed in her, which is the cream of the planet Earth, or like I said, you plant the cream in her, and it's the cream of the planet Earth, because once the cream is transmitted or transformed and the baby is reproduced, then the baby comes out as the cream of the planet Earth, but in a solidified form as the baby, consisting of gases, liquids, and solids. You understand? So that's how that goes. You understand? Basic, simple shit, man. I'm not trying to, we ain't trying to complicate this stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And then brothers be talking about making stuff plain and all of that. And I'll be like, yo, brothers talk about making stuff plain, but then they want to start complicating stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, which one is it, man? You gonna make it plain or we complicating things? Which one is it? Or maybe to try to sound somehow more intelligent than Lord Messiah, maybe I gotta finagle these words and play word semantics and try to catch him up in my wordplay, so then I can seem like I'm the teacher and I'm breaking it down and I'm not learning from him, he's learning from me, and whatever, man. If that's what floats your boat, like I said, do that with somebody else, because I'm way beyond that, and that's not happening over here. So anyway, and I'll end it on this note too. Like I said, this goes out to all the fake book jive pretenders, not the Facebook 5%ers, the 5%ers that are on Facebook who actually show their face and post their own original content because there's no mystery God in the universe. So they actually show their actual face. They don't just post a flag or somebody else's picture and pose as somebody else, or a picture of the father and put the name Clarence Smith under it and disrespect the father of our nation and then act like that's all good and that's okay. And then when you bomb them about it, oh, you're the wrong guy or something. No, get the fuck out of here blaspheming the father's name. His name is not Clarence Smith. His name is Allah. Respect that. You should fucking know that. But since a lot of brothers are way down in fucking down south some damn where, far from the root of this, and they got the nerve to be talking about what brothers is doing up in at a law school. You ain't been at a law school in 23 years. Man, that's what I be talking about, man. Are you Facebook keyboard gangsters? Keep on keyboard gangstering on Facebook while I'm out here living the real life and living this real mathematics and breaking the shit down for you uneducated, unstudied, indoctrinated, who don't know how to study and cross-reference and break things down and use proper English and put things in grammatical correct perspective. For those who don't know how to do that, this is what this whole lesson has been for. Okay? So enjoy it. Share, share, share. Like, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Peace.